going to actually start on time tonight. I know, crazy, right? I've worked out how you do it. You allow yourself enough time to do the things you need to do. It's insane. I know, I know. Honestly, try it. You'll love it. It works, kind of, when life doesn't get in the way. Because life be doing a lot of lifing recently. Oh dear. But hopefully you can all sit back and relax and just listen to my voice and hear all about lovely Pete. Are you all very excited? So we've got 2 minutes, but before we start, 3:30 p.m. Wow. Oh, where are you, Lynn? 3:30? Who's got a half? There are a few places that aren't, because most places differ by a whole hour, don't they? Or multiples of an hour. So where is Hawaii? Does Hawaii have a half? Northern California. Oh, California's. Oh, you've got mountain and coastal and different thing. I remember reading something about it, but it was all like, Jesus Christ, why do they have to make it so complicated? And then you've got a place further down, I think in Southern California, that sometimes it takes its time zone from there and sometimes it takes its time zone from there. So it's all a bit confusing. So before we get started, because we're about a minute away from kickoff, I'd just like to show you my latest midlife crisis. Are you ready for this? You know how I like a slogan tee? We've gone for, now if you're not a teenage girl, you may not recognize the K-pop Demon Hunters with tour dates on the back. And the lacy arms are part of it. How cool is that? Hands up any other kids or teens of the 80s. Mm, mm. You can see why I was rather captivated. And guess how much? Guess how much? Come on. Guess how much? Go on, have a guess. Guess how much? Guess how much? My lovely K-pop t-shirt. K-pop Demon Hunters. Go and have a guess. Go and have a guess. Golden. Chris, you're such a teenager. Yeah. 8 of your Earth pounds. That's what? About $10? Primani. We love a Primani. So it's about time. Let's get going. I'm just going to start the audio recording. And what do I need to do? Let's hope that's recording. I'll soon find out, won't I? If it's not, I'll have to try again next time. So it's midnight. I'm Mama, and the cafe is open. But I can hear a little bit of echo from the QuickTime player, so I'm just going to turn that down. And then hopefully, oh, mind you, that's not doing anything now. Is it doing anything? Oh, well, I'm going to leave it now. I can't hear it. It's not annoying me. So either it will record or it won't record. And, every day is a school day. So welcome, everybody, to the Midnight Cafe. I know it's a good price, isn't it? I love it. I love it. I love it. With my lacy Madonna arms. Come on. Tell me that's not what you 80s children are thinking. Madonna 1980s. Sorry for those who are joining us on the podcast because you won't be able to see that. But it's basically a K-pop Demon Hunters cool tour t-shirt with lacy arms underneath as part of it. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So who's ready for an evening of Pete? Yeah. I just felt with him playing such a pivotal role in all of our lives right at this moment, it might be nice to understand a little bit more about him. But before we start that, I would like to read you a piece, and you have to guess which movie this is from. I'm not going to tell you if it's an action movie, a war movie, a sci-fi movie. You'll probably pretty quickly guess it's not a comedy or a romance. But here we go. Everybody comfortable? Then I shall begin. Well, good morning. We just finished an update with Admiral Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander across the CENTCOM AOR. Our leadership and troops, as you would expect, are doing a fantastic job. 2 days ago, under the direction and direct orders of President Donald J. Trump, the Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precise aerial operation in history. For 47 long years, the expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chants of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, funded and armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carried the names of brothers who never came home, brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah and his death cult. It took the 47th president, a fighter who always puts America first, to finally draw the line after 47 years of Iranian belligerence. He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology, and without hesitation, we will kill you. President Trump has also been very consistent. Crazy regimes like Iran, hell-bent on prophetic Islamist delusions, cannot have nuclear weapons. It's common sense. Many have said it, but it takes guts to actually enforce it, and our president has guts. Iran's stubborn and self-evident nuclear pursuits, their targeting of global shipping lanes, and their swelling arsenal of ballistic missiles and killer drones are no longer tolerable risks. Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs. Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb. It almost worked under Obama and his terrible deal, but not under this president. Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it. Today, in their desperation, the enemy is unmasked. As Iranian missiles and drones rain down indiscriminately on the hotels, airports, apartments, and other civilian targets of their neighbours, cowardly terrorist tactics from a regime that for decades has trafficked in cowardly terrorist tactics, lies death and destruction to this day. The Iranian leadership has built nothing except proxies and missiles and drones and deeply buried nuclear factories and facilities. Peaceful nuclear ambitions do not need to be buried underneath mountains. Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, "That's it, now make a deal." They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Far worse than obliteration? I mean, that's bad. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it. I was there. They tried over and over and over again, earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal? Hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. No, we know what games he plays. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know. What the fuck does that actually mean? Sorry, that's not part of the speech. President Trump puts America and Americans first. He doesn't hesitate, and neither do our troops. The mission of Operation Epic Fury is laser focused. Destroy Iranian offensive missiles. Destroy Iranian missile production. Destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons. We're hitting them surgically, overwhelmingly, and unapologetically. With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian, they're realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies. Speaking of people, we hope the Iranian people take advantage of this incredible opportunity. President Trump has been clear. Now is your time. Never mind the fact you've got no internet and you can't actually hear President Trump telling you now is your time. Sorry, he didn't say that. I'm digressing. To Iranian security forces, choose wisely. President Trump has also been clear about your fate in either direction. To the media outlets and political left, hello, screaming, endless wars, stop. This is not Iraq. There's a different letter at the end, that's how you can tell. Sorry, no, he didn't say that. This is not endless. I was there for both. Both what? Both the Iraq and the endless wars? I digress again. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. Okay. To the media outlets and political left, sorry, that was the last sentence. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the navy, no nukes. Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful, capable partners, as we've said since the beginning. Capable partners are good partners. Okay, that's a stretch, but carry on, Pete. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force, America, regardless of what so-called international institutions say, oh, good God, I don't think we're talking the Board of Peace here, is unleashing the most lethal and precise air power campaign in history. B-2s, fighters, drones, missiles, and of course, classified effects. All on our terms with maximum authorities. No stupid rules of engagement. I'll say that one more time for the hard of thinking. No stupid rules of engagement. Okay. No nation-building quagmire. No democracy-building exercise. What are we doing then? And by we, I mean you. No politically correct wars. We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. It's like a PR campaign. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties, but it's a sacrifice he's willing to make. Sorry, it doesn't say that. War is hell and always will be. A grateful nation honours the 4 Americans. I think it's more than that now. We've lost thus far, and those injured, the absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honours them. No apologies, no hesitation. Epic fury for them and the thousands of Americans before them taken too soon by Iranian radicals. Before I turn it over to General Kane for the operational update, let me speak straight to you. Because the rest of it was just a performance for the cameras. The Joint Force, our warriors on the front line. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979. And since the rudderless wars of hubris my generation, our generation endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. So if you hear any noise saying you don't have to carry out illegal orders, don't listen to that noise. Carry out the illegal orders. Be a patriot. Die for no reason whatsoever. Sorry, that he doesn't say that either. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. Oh my God, that man is not steady anywhere. Sorry. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we tried. If we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big, it demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength. 1984. The warrior ethos. Lethality. He likes a bit of lethality, doesn't he? Unity of purpose. Those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform. That uniform. You think clearly under fire. You act decisively in chaos. You uphold the Constitution and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Oh, yes, it is, Petey. Be the force you swore an oath to be: focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's, as it should be. And know this above all. President Trump and I have your back always. We are right behind you, all the way back there. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through other people telling you that you don't have to carry out unlawful orders, through everything. We unleash you because you are the very best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going. Did anybody guess the movie? Anybody? Oh, yes, very good. I mean, I've given you clues, haven't I, to be fair? That pile of bellicose drivel is delivered to you courtesy of the guy in charge of your armed forces, Party Pete Keg's Breath. So, you're thinking now, wow, that was inspirational. Tell us more about Party Pete. Tell us what qualifies this man to be sending our young men and women to die needlessly, pointlessly, because Trump doesn't want us to look at the Epstein files. What unique qualities indeed. So, we will start with who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Everybody knows who he is. White House down. Yeah, I was thinking America 2026. Nobody would watch it, would they? I mean, you'd never get it certified. No classification board would allow any decent human being to watch this shit show. So, who is Party Pete? Well, a lot of you will know him. Well, actually, I'm hoping a lot of you won't know him. A lot of you will know of him from those relatives that only watch Fox News, and he was the weekend anchor, co-anchor, couldn't do it all by himself. So, what's the story? How did we make this transition from Fox host to Secretary of War? He's a Secretary of Defense. There is no Department of War. He can't just make that up by himself. So, Peter Brian Hegseth was born on June the 6th, 1980. Oh my God, he's just a baby. Excuse me. Summer, don't make me giggle. I'm trying to be all serious for a podcast. And I'm sure the fact that he doesn't tie his shoes all by himself is irrelevant because he can get Velcro straps. So I think you're just being mean there. He studied politics at Princeton University. Not very well. That's my editorial. And he was commissioned as an infantry officer in the Minnesota Army National Guard in 2003, serving at Guantanamo Bay and deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan. He became a Fox News contributor in 2014 and co-hosted Fox and Friends Weekend from 2017 to 2024. In November 2024, Donald Trump nominated him as United States Secretary of Defense, one of the most consequential positions in the world. Oh, ain't it just? Yes, Summer, he's going to have to pay some sort of tariffs on his Velcro if he's getting it from China. He was confirmed only after J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote, only the second time in US history that a cabinet nominee's confirmation required a vice presidential tiebreaker, the first being Betsy DeVos in 2017. Would you like to hear more about his service record? I think we should know what really separates the man Pete from all those little boys. So, he deployed to Guantanamo Bay in 2004 to 2005, leading a platoon of the New Jersey National Guard soldiers guarding the detainees there. I bet that was fun for everyone. He then deployed to Iraq with the 3rd Brigade of the 101st Airborne Division for their 2005-2006 tour, serving as an infantry platoon leader in Baghdad and as a civil military operations officer in Samarra. In 2012, he deployed to Afghanistan with the Minnesota Army National Guard, where he was a senior counterinsurgency instructor at the Counterinsurgency Training Center in Kabul. The Bronze Star controversy. Want to hear some controversy? Of course you do. Keg's Breath holds 2, count them, 1, 2, Bronze Stars and a Combat Infantryman's Badge CIB. However, and you knew there was going to be a however, critics have derided his Bronze Stars as little more than participation trophies. Oh, that's a bit woke, isn't it? MAGA won't like that. Because they were actually awarded for meritorious service, not for a specific act of valor on the battlefield, which would require a V device attached to the medal. Things got more embarrassing, and it's not even anything he's done yet. When the White House posted a video praising Hegseth as a recipient of the Bronze Star Medal for Valor, which was factually incorrect. And they quietly deleted the video after journalists pointed out the error, because far be it from this administration to put some sort of explanation, apology. No, we just pretend it never happened. You didn't see it. Don't know what you're talking about. What video? There was no video. So, more controversy? I think so. Kegsbreath was flagged as an insider threat by his own unit. And you may have heard this story, but the version according to Petey. And I'm just going to say, he remembers it differently to others. So here's another perspective on that story. Perhaps the most extraordinary moment of his military career. Just before Biden's 2021 inauguration, a fellow National Guardsman, Sergeant Derico Gaither, sent an email to Major General William Walker warning that Hegseth's Deus Vult, Deusvult, Deus Vult tattoo, Latin for God wills it, was associated with supremacist groups and was quite disturbing. Gaither clarified that his complaint targeted the Deus Vult tattoo on Hegseth's inner bicep, not the Jerusalem cross on his chest, contrary to how Hegseth has repeatedly told the story. Hegseth's orders to guard Biden's inauguration were subsequently revoked, and he retired from the National Guard shortly after. In his retelling, he's consistently claimed it was the Jerusalem cross, which he calls simply a Christian symbol, that got him removed, not the Deus Vult tattoo. So, what other tattoos does Party Pete have? Well, I'll tell you. Beyond the Deus Vult and the Jerusalem cross, Hegseth's body art includes We the People, which some of you, not Donny obviously, will recognise as the Constitution's opening phrase, a Join or Die snake from the American Revolution, an American flag with an AR-15 rifle, and a patch of his regiment, the 187th Infantry. He also has, and this will come as no surprise to anybody, a cross and sword tattoo representing Matthew 10:34. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. And this is the guy who was elected or nominated and sworn in as the Secretary of Defense. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. Super. What could possibly go wrong? With the Hebrew word Yeshua, Jesus, tattooed underneath, which he got while reporting in Bethlehem for Fox Nation. The Deus Vult phrase and Jerusalem cross have been adopted by far-right and white supremacist groups. It will surprise absolutely nobody. The same Crusader symbols appeared, guess where? Guess where? I mean, feel free to have a guess in the comments, but you will not in any way that the two of them, you will easily guess. You will either say one or you will say the other, and then there's a third which is not on US soil. Where did we see these symbols? That's right. January the 6th, Capitol riots, of course. And where else? Think. There were good and bad on both sides, or there were good people on both sides. I forget what ridiculous platitude came out of Trump 1.0's mouth. That's right. The 2017 Charlottesville rally. The racist supremacist attack. Horrific. Yeah, Charlotte, well done, Summer. And they were also used by the perpetrator. And I horrifically watched this as it was happening on his live stream on the Twitter, the 2019 New Zealand mosque massacre. It was horrific and just not something you ever unsee. Which is nice. You know, it's nice that you can do that on the Twitter. So, what else? Well, the controversy also stretches to how he treats other service men and women, as you would expect. I mean, that's just par for the course. And most of you will be very familiar with his ridiculous attempts to somehow punish the brave senators and congressmen and women who stood up to remind servicemen and women on active duty they do not have to obey unlawful orders. In fact, they have a responsibility to the Constitution. And if Summer, and if an order is unconstitutional, illegal, unlawful, it is their responsibility not to obey that order. I'm not sure that I would have the confidence to know, because what's the alternative if you get it wrong? Court-martial. I mean, it's going to take a certain kind of somebody to say, actually, no, I don't think that's quite lawful. I won't. I'll stay here. Tell me about it when you get back. In a rich irony, Hegseth publicly mocked Senator Mark Kelly, a former astronaut, as I'm sure you all know, and Navy combat pilot, claiming his military medals were out of order and rows reversed. And, as you know, threatened to have the Navy investigate him for potentially unlawful conduct when he told the troops they didn't have to follow illegal orders. Kelly's response? Very Kelly. He went on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I think that's President Donald J. Trump's favorite late night comedian, and described Hegseth as totally unqualified. Really? I'm assuming this was after he was already in charge of the entire armed forces of the biggest democracy on the planet. Yeah. That's the point, that he was totally unqualified. Super. Again, what could possibly go wrong? So, in summary, genuine combat service across 3 deployments, medals that supporters defend and critics downplay, a tattoo that got him flagged as a potential extremist by his own unit, so perfect for the Trump administration, and a retirement for the National Guard that was clearly hastened by that incident. A rather mixed military bag, wouldn't you say? But you don't want to just know about his military career, do you? You want the rest of the juice. I am here to deliver. Hey, Anna. Welcome. Get comfy. Grab your beanbag. Grab your comfy chair, your adult beverage, your milky drink, and sit back, relax, and hear more about Party Pete Kegsbreath. So, I don't know if any of you are aware of this, and I speak with some authority. I will declare an interest. I am a recovered alcoholic of 21 years sobriety, and I take that very, very seriously. And I was an absolute arse when I was drinking, when I was an active alcoholic, which brings me neatly on to Pete's alcohol abuse. I know. No, it's a surprise to us all. There are rumours that passing out at family events was his party piece, let's say. The New Yorker reported that Hegseth was forced out of previous leadership positions for financial mismanagement, sexist behaviour, and being repeatedly intoxicated on the job, based on a whistleblower report and internal emails. A sworn affidavit submitted to the Senate Armed Services Committee under penalty of perjury alleged that Hegseth regularly became so drunk that he passed out, threw up, and had to be carried out of family events and public settings. Sometimes shouting sexually and racially offensive statements. I know that that's just alleged according to a sworn affidavit under the penalty of perjury. So, maybe he did shout sexually and racially offensive statements. Maybe he didn't. Who knows? His former sister-in-law, Danielle Hegseth, told the FBI that he abused alcohol to the point of passing out during a holiday gathering, and that she personally witnessed him intoxicated and yelling in her face. Really? Pete? No respect for women? I can't believe it, said nobody ever. Do you want to hear about the sexual assault allegation? Do ya? Oh, that's good, because that's the next thing on my list. So, Hegseth paid a $50,000 settlement to a woman who accused him of sexually assaulting her at a Republican women's conference in Monterey, California in October 2017. She reported the matter to police, though no charges were ever filed. About 5 days after the alleged assault, an emergency room nurse contacted law enforcement after treating a woman who she said may have been drugged and raped. Hegseth reached the settlement in 2020. Why? Because he felt so bad? Because this poor woman had suffered? Because he wanted to make amends? No, not really, no. To avoid risking his job at Fox News. His attorney characterized it as blackmail, noting that during the height of the Me Too movement, any public accusation would have resulted in his immediate termination. It was just bad timing. Poor Pete. Hegseth has denied the accusation, though his lawyer acknowledged that the payment was made because it's totally reasonable to pay off people who accuse you of sexual assault, even if it's not true. Sometimes you just got to tie up loose ends. Hey, Tamara, get comfy, join the rest of us. We're just chatting about Party Pete. So, not all of his family are standing by him. It is clear from his sister-in-law, former sister-in-law, Danielle, that even his own mother hasn't had the official "this is the life and times of Pete" memo and went off script. The New York Times reported that she, Penelope, wrote him an email, Penelope and Pete, in 2018 while he was divorcing his second wife after having an affair with a Fox News executive producer. Of course he did, with a devastating rebuke. You want to hear what Mama said? Not this Mama, Petey's Mama, Penelope. I have no respect for any man that belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around and uses women for his own power and ego. You are that man and have been for years. And as your mother, it pains me and embarrasses me to say that. You go, Penny. I'm loving that. Of course, she later told the Times she regretted sending the email. She didn't take it back, though, just that she regretted sending it. That's all. I'm just reporting the facts. I do not know if Keg's Breath belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around and uses women for his own power and ego. I do not know that. I do not know if he is that man or if he has been that man for years. And I do not know whether his mother is pained and embarrassed to have to say that. But say it she did. What next? What do you fancy? A little bit of DV? Yeah, let's have a bit of DV. So, domestic abuse allegations, because you just knew there were going to be some. Anyone who can get up in his sister-in-law's grill is not really a champion of women and respectfully behaving around them. So Danielle Hegseth's sworn affidavit alleged that his second wife, Samantha, feared for her personal safety. Do you know what Samantha resorted to doing? Allegedly. Apparently, she often hid in a closet. And, because it gets worse, she had an escape plan involving a secret code word that she would text to someone who would then fly to Minnesota to rescue her. You literally can't make this shit up. And I didn't. This is all sourced. Yeah. Few skeletons, right? But it's not just women he likes to abuse or alcohol. There are claims of financial mismanagement. And wait for it. Anybody with any armed forces personnel in their family ever, you're not going to want to hear this. So listen up. During his Senate confirmation hearing, Hegseth faced more than 3 hours of questioning on allegations of financial mismanagement, excessive drinking, and sexual misconduct. The New Yorker's reporting alleged these issues first surfaced during his leadership of Concerned Veterans for America between 2013 and 2016. Oh, yes, he did. He be stealing off the vets. And they confirmed him. Yes, we are talking about Kegsworth. Yes, they confirmed him. Yes, I haven't got a clue what's been going on in your halls of power for the last, I don't know, let's go decade, shall we? Shall we go decade? That would be fair. So, and that's all before we were really, I mean, he was even on our radar, really, as, anybody who could in any way, shape or form affect our lives unless we were stupid enough to turn on Fox News over the weekend. And none of us were going to be doing that, right? What was our first scandal? Who remembers? Hands up. Who remembers? Who remembers our first scandal involving Party Pete? Who remembers? Who remembers? I'll give you a clue. We are going to bomb next to the cafe. There should be plenty of American service personnel. If you can make sure we don't kill any of our own, that would be really great. P.S. The bloke in the post office is a secret agent feeding information to the Americans. But shh, don't tell anyone because it's a secret. Oh, you're so good. You are so, so good. That's why I love you. That's why I love coming here. Signalgate. Do we all remember? Shall we have a quick recap? In March 2025. Oh, it's just, is it still being litigated? Does anybody know if Signalgate is still being investigated? Because the last I heard, which was only like in the last couple of weeks, there was still investigations going on into Signalgate. Nothing had been done about it. Well, I mean, obviously nothing's been done about it, but insane. So, March 2025, only a year ago, only 12 little months, and so much has changed. I know, Tamara, we literally thought, well, it can't get any worse than that, because you'd think the halls of power would do what they do. They'd make the necessary adjustments to the Department of Defense, and an absolute fucking idiot using an app he's not supposed to be using, where all your enemies can have a little look-see what you're doing, might be removed from his duties. Yeah, okay. When I say investigated, I'm sorry, I should have said investigated, inverted commas. Excuse me. So, last year, March 2025, it was revealed that Hegseth shared operational details of imminent strikes, but this wasn't classified information, so it's okay. It's the other kind of imminent strikes on the Yemen's Houthi rebels in an unclassified Signal group chat. And Trump's national security advisor had accidentally invited The Atlantic's editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, to the conversation. And I think we all remember Trump being absolutely vile about poor Jeffrey Goldberg, who'd really done nothing wrong. Yeah, no. We're using, oh, okay. Genevieve, I welcome you. You are new to us, and I very, very much welcome you. But okay, there was no investigation. There were some people who shuffled some papers around and said, yeah, no, we won't do that again. Everybody, there's nothing to see here. What Signalgate? What chats between mates that all our enemies can have a look at? Just lies, yeah. Thank you. I think that sums it up, Genevieve. You're in the right place. You are talking our language. Where were we? Jeffrey Goldberg, poor lad. I bet he couldn't believe it. Can you imagine if you were a journalist and you're like, love, I've been added to the Signal group chat. They're discussing an attack on the Houthis in Yemen. Should I let them know that I shouldn't be here? No, keep listening. Oh, do you know what I missed? I have to go back there. I missed, if we go back to the DV, when you've got Samantha hiding in the closet and having a secret code word so that somebody could come and rescue her if it all got too tasty with Pete. An affidavit also alleged that Hegseth, and I don't know why I'm saying also alleged, like, this is really shocking. This is not in the slightest shocking. You probably all even know this. There was an affidavit that he made statements that women should not vote or work. Okay, PT, we need to talk. And that Christians needed to have more children to overtake the Muslim population, because that's the priority when you're having a kid. Is my kid the right religion to even up the balance in my area? No other concerns. Just this is the guy who's sending your husbands, your brothers, your dads, your sons, your cousins, your uncles, your nephews, your next door neighbors to their deaths. That's an actual fact. The rest are just sworn statements. Back to Signalgate. And the right colour. Yes, quite, Tamara. Don't forget that. Almost goes without saying, doesn't it? Which is absolutely disgusting. So, the Inspector General's report found that the details Hegseth shared closely mirrored a classified email from the CENTCOM commander sent 15 hours earlier, marked, I didn't know this, did you know this? Marked secret and NOFORN, NOFORN, not for release to foreign nationals. I say that again, NOFORN, not releasable to foreign nationals. Aircraft types, launch times, strike times were all included, which was very kind of him, because can you imagine how hard it must be if you're a United States enemy getting that stuff normally under normal circumstances? I mean, they should be thanking him, really. The report concluded. Oh, we have a conclusion. Everybody, Summer, Genevieve, we have a conclusion. Are you ready? Are you ready? You're going to love this. We're going to love it, aren't we? I can feel it already. They've taken decisive action. The report concluded Hegseth sent this information to 2 signal groups, not just the one that they invited Matey from the Atlantic to, but also to the one with his wife and his brother, because they need to know what's happening in Yemen in violation of Pentagon policies on a personal phone. He declined to be interviewed by investigators. Really? 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 Because I seem to remember Hillary Clinton declining to be interviewed and providing a sworn affidavit instead, but apparently that wasn't good enough for Hillary's account of exactly how she didn't know Jeffrey Epstein in any way, shape, or form. But no, it's okay. Pete was allowed to provide a written statement. And then, guess what he declared the report? Guess what he declared the report? I think we all know what he said. I will paint the picture in the words of another of your great leadership team. Totally exonerated. Totally exonerated. Okay, I'm not very good at impressions, but yeah. He declared the report a total exoneration. I mean, either this administration don't understand what the word exoneration means, or the rest of us are living in the fucking Truman Show. Because what? Summer, is that the Pinocchio emoji? Yeah. Yeah, they're not great with the truth thing, are they? They're not very. No. What else? What else has Party Pete been up to since doing his new fun job? Because it wasn't just sending dodgy texts, was it? No. No, it got much fruitier than that. Not satisfied with spilling, what do you call it? classified information to anyone who happened to be able to hack into a Signal chat. Pete decided he needed to show he was a real man, very much like his speech that we opened tonight with. And what did he do? He decided, I need to get me a few war crimes. Yes, Tamara. Yeah, exactly. This man, put it this way, I would not be letting him look after my children. If I had a very, very close to death dying plant that somebody I hated gave me, and I'd hated the plant ever since they gave it to me, I still wouldn't let Pete look after it. So, you know where I'm going, don't you? The alleged crime/war crime, because, it could go either way. Oh, Genevieve. Oh, she's Genevieve. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name? Because I'm just kind of pronouncing it phonetically. Genevieve. Genevieve? Genevieve? Genevieve. Genevieve. It's Genevieve, isn't it? It's Genevieve. It's just a beautiful spelling of Genevieve. Sorry. Please forget I did that. That was disgusting. I'm a child of the 80s and I apologise. Sometimes these nasty little habits pop through. And that was completely unacceptable and I apologise. So, yes, let's say ships in open water, Tamara. Let's say that. Yes, that's exactly where we're going. I am so sorry. So, according to two people with direct knowledge, Hegseth gave a spoken directive during a September 2025 operation involving SEAL Team 6, targeting an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean Sea. Oh, if only somebody had warned, I don't know, some authoritative body like, I don't know, a Supreme Court, for example, that by giving certain powers of presidential immunity, that might allow SEAL Team 6, as an example, to go and slaughter people indiscriminately. But that would never happen. So we don't really need... Oh, no, wait, sorry, no. Sources said Hegseth ordered personnel to kill everybody. That is a direct quote. A commander then ordered a second strike that killed two people struggling in the water who had survived the initial attack. That had already killed 11 people on board the vessel. Several legal aspects, including our very beloved Glenn Kirshner. Genevieve, if you haven't been to Glenn Kirshner, do it. He'll be what are we tonight? Are we 8:30 your time? I don't know what your time is, Genevieve. We don't even know where you are. Introduce yourselves. We're all friends here. We're all getting to know each other. Set Eastern time. I think, is it 8:00? The rest of the group will tell because you are subscribed. Amazing. She's one of us. You are in the right place, girl. 8:30. Thank you, Igor. Igor knows. I think Judine, I didn't see you sneak in. When did you sneak in? Welcome. I'm sorry that you've missed our story time. Oh boy. Do you know what I'm doing tomorrow? Car crash Patel. We really need to know who these key figures are keeping your nation safe at the moment. So we're going to do Keg's Breath tonight, car crash tomorrow, and cosplay Barbie on Friday. And we'll have our usual get together with the girls on Thursday. So, where were we? The legal experts, that's right, characterised the alleged order as murder, at the very least, and a potential war crime. Senator Chris Van Hollen, hands up who loves Senator Chris Van Hollen. He's been quite vocal with the latest strikes on Iran. Christy. Yeah. Christy, crusty gnome cosplay Barbie. She's got to be Friday. So come back Friday and I'll make sure the 12-year-old's in bed because British 12-year-old boys, they've got no interest in American politics, I tell you. And that's why I have to come here because you lot are actually interested. and I'm just obsessed and having a midlife crisis. So, thank you. Thank you for seeing me through it without judging. Appreciate you. Where were we? Chris Van Hollen. Yes, he is the best, Judine. You are quite right. Igor thinks they should all be first impeached and then delivered to the International Criminal Court for conviction. Really? Really? Can't we flog them or torture them or something first? Do we have to go to impeachment first? I thought we were doing things differently now. Okay, fine. Impeachment it is. Anywho, Chris Van Hollen doesn't need impeaching. Good guy, good egg, good people. He stated, do you want to hear what he stated? You're going to love this. Secretary talk show host may have been experiencing the fog of war, but this was an extrajudicial killing amounting to murder or a war crime. He must resign. Representative Seth Moulton also said, mark my words, Igor, Americans will be prosecuted for this. Really? Really? Who gonna do that? Who gonna do that? Because ain't nobody doing the prosecuting thing. We've got contempt going on left, right and centre, crimes here, war crimes there, crimes against humanity everywhere. God knows what frauds and grifts are going on behind the scenes. People betting on Polymarket. Donald Trump probably puts a quick bet on which side of the bed he's going to get out of and then gets out that side of the bed thinking, yay, winner! Sorry. We did. Igor, you have to come to one of our watch parties. We had a little watch party of Senator Tom Tillis, Republican, Igor reminds us, totally smashing Noam. Basically saying, sit there, listen, I'm not asking you a question because I don't give a shit what your answers are. You're going to hear what I think of you, and here I go. And it was chef's kiss. Where was I? Sorry. Yes, Americans will be prosecuted for this. Well, we can but pray. Under the laws of armed conflict, combatants who are hors de combat, i.e. no longer able to defend themselves, are protected by law. Attacking shipwreck survivors who pose no threat is a potential war crime. Yay, Igor. Tomorrow, I'm just shy of anyone going. No, where can I see that? You want to see the Senator Tom Tillis? Ladies, do the tappy. Send Tamara. Is it Tamara or Tamara? You'll have to. Where's the stress? Is it on the Tamara? No, the Tamara, the second syllable, or the Tamara? You tell me which one it is, because I like to get people's names right, because that's just the decent, respectful thing to do when people are bothering to listen to you. I hate people misnaming people. It's just so lazy. Yes. Can somebody do the tappy tap link for Tamara so that she can get the YouTube of Tamara like Sahara? Nice. Perfect. Thank you so much, my love. Yeah. If you just YouTube search Tom Tillis, Kristi Noam, that'll pretty much give you the clip that you're after. And oh, he was beautiful. So beautiful, there was applause. I have never seen that before in Congress. But there was actual applause, such that he had to say, no, don't applaud me. Go watch it. Everyone go watch it. See if you can fit it in between me and Glenn. So where are we? We're back at the Pentagon. Oh my God, as if he wasn't causing enough chaos, just generally by sharing confidential classified information and by slaughtering innocent sailors. He is causing chaos at the Pentagon. So he fired his most loyal aides, Senior Advisor Dan Caldwell, Deputy Chief of Staff Darren Selnick, and Colin Carroll in a Friday night purge amid a torrent of damaging leaks about Pentagon plans concerning China, Ukraine intelligence, and a potential military operation in the Panama Canal. Do we all remember what we were talking about? One, on Trump's shopping list was the Panama Canal. That was then. He also fired 3 top judge advocate generals, the JAGs, which we all have a soft spot for because, as you know, Glenn was a JAG, and Lisa Franchetti, the chief of naval operations, as part of a broader purge of senior military leadership. Well, you can't have a woman in a position of power over the armed forces, for goodness sake. She shouldn't even be voting or breathing. What was the other thing he didn't want women to do? I forget. Leaving the kitchen, something like that. And that finally brings us towards the end. We will finish with his anti-woke crusade, his feelings towards NATO, and press, what do we call it? Restrictions. So you will all remember, how could anybody forget, Hegseth and Trump gathering together all the senior military leaders at Quantico, all in one place. Hello, enemies. They're all here. All our best in terms of all the planning and anything to do with war and stuff. They're all in this building right now if you've got any spare bombs you want to drop. Maddening. Yes, so he gathered them all together in the one place for no other reason than so he and Trump could jump around on stage and say, yeah, this is what real men look like, and you've got a beard, you're out, you're fired, you're a bit flabby, you're fired, you're a woman, you're fired. That's how I remember it anyway. It may not have been exactly like that, but that's just how I remember it. And he called for tighter fitness standards and an end to what he called woke garbage. See, beard, you're fired. Fatty, you're fired. Lady, off you go. Told you. He opposed NATO. Of course he did. When they were considering membership for Ukraine. And he said that a return to Ukraine's pre-Crimea borders, so the 2014 invasion by Russia when they took Crimea, he said returning to the pre-Crimea borders was unrealistic. Okay, Pete, mind your own business. He also implemented, and we're all benefiting from this latest implementation, a new Pentagon policy regarding the press, requiring journalists to pledge not to solicit or use unauthorized material, including unclassified information, or face losing building access entirely. So only your really far-right podcasters who were happy to sign their lives over and say, no, Pete, it's fine. We'll only tell us what you tell us to tell us. Yeah, no, we don't have brains anyway. So we were a bit worried that we might have to do some thinking. But if we're not going to have to do any thinking, you're just going to give us all the words. That's great. Yeah, we're in. And we lost all journalistic scrutiny of the inside of the Pentagon. Shall I summarize? Because we've been doing this a while now, haven't we, my lovelies? Yes, 1 o'clock. Look at me bringing it in. Bang on time. You knew I could do it. So, to summarize, my darlings, and thank you for being with me. This is a man accused of sexual assault, which was settled out of court for $50,000, but we're making no judgment because there could be any number of reasons why he would settle that out of court. He is accused of domestic abuse by multiple family members under oath, but it's only alleged. We don't know for sure that his family members under oath were telling the truth. They might not have been. We don't know. We just don't know. That's why it's alleged. chronic alcoholism, corroborated by his own mother, but she could be a liar. She could be a nasty, mean, horrible, stinky liar. And he just likes, socializing. We don't know. It's just alleged. Accused of leaking classified military strike plans on a chat group that inadvertently included a journalist. No, it's not allegedly. No, we know he did that. That happened. There's no alleged. Pete, try it, because we all saw the chat. We saw the receipts on that one. Okay, I've not finished. It's a long summary. Allegedly ordering the killing of shipwrecked survivors in what legal experts describe as a potential war crime. Now, this is only alleged because although we were allowed to see other footage of the droppy bang bangs in the oceans, we're not allowed to see that one because that might paint a bad impression if that's what happened. But it's only alleged. We don't know for sure. Just because, people said that's what happened doesn't mean it did. He could be really misunderstood. All this while serving as the United States Secretary of Defense. So you don't really do defense anymore, do you? A defensive strike, according to little Marco Rubio, is when you hit the guy first in case your mate hits him and then he hits you in retaliation because your mate hit him. So you hit him first. And then when he hits you back, because you deserve it, because you just hit him, at least you can say you hit him first, is what I heard basically from Rubio and little MAGA Mike. Oh, what a flipping shit show, folks. Well, I don't know how well this is going to work in terms of me being able to record it and put it up as a podcast. I don't know if the potty mouth is going to penalize me, but I'm talking about Pete Hegseth, for God's sake. Sometimes you just got to use specific words. That brings us to the end of the story of little Petey. Do we all feel enlightened and reassured that the nation is in safe hands and your servicemen and women are he got their backs. He said so. He's got their backs. Yeah. And with that, I think it is very, very important that those of us who want to come together to share a moment thinking about all those who are in direct line of fire in these very, very troubled times. It's difficult for all of us, but I acknowledge that some of us are going through absolute hell. I'm thinking of parents of those poor little girls in the school in Iran. I'm thinking of the families of those servicemen that were killed in the attack on the army base in Kuwait, I believe it was. I'm thinking of all the world and variety of people currently living and staying and visiting the Middle East region who are absolutely terrified. There are no airplanes. They don't know if they're ever going to get home. They don't know if they're going to wake up tomorrow. It's a horrible, terrifying place. And a special thought to all our brave servicemen and women who literally don't know whether they're coming or going. They have got no clue whether the people in charge of them, the people that they trust with their lives, are telling them to follow orders to protect Queen and country. Well, not Queen and country in your case, just country. Or whether they're being asked to commit illegal acts, war crimes. And I can't imagine how difficult that must be for every single member of the armed forces. So, Igor says the brilliant Clarence Darrow, Scope's monkey trial lawyer, once defended the use of cuss words, saying we got to use all the words we got because there's damn few words everyone understands anyway. Oh, I like that a lot. I'm with you, Laurie. That's good, Igor. Having been around the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, where there are a lot of people in different stages of recovery, and they use lots of languages, some of them English, some of them variations on English. Somebody once said something that really stuck with me throughout my coming up for 22 years in sobriety. God doesn't care what words I use. My God cares what I do. So I will carry on being here. I will carry on telling you stories. Tomorrow we will have a look at Car Crash Patel and see how his brilliant stewardship of the FBI is keeping us all that little bit safer. If we can just take a moment and just a few seconds to think quietly of the people that you feel need your prayers tonight. And we ask you, God, to bless us all in your name. Amen. And my darlings, oh, the wars for God. Oh my God. Isn't that a worry, Genevieve and everybody? When whistleblowers are whistleblowing a couple of days, less than a week into a campaign, something's not right. Do you know what I mean? You would expect there to be a little bit of buy-in at the beginning when the adrenaline's still pumping, but for whistleblowers to be coming forward already, I mean, that is terrifying. Armageddon, yeah. It's a good movie, not a great reality. And with that, my darlings, you all need to go and empty your bladders, empty your bowels, whatever it is you do. Refill your beverages, get yourself comfy, and get ready for Glenn, because I, for one, will see you over there. Well, no, I won't. I will only see you over there if my buddies do me another watch party, because Substack is being a bitch and won't let me watch Glenn right now, even though my subscription is live. Ugh. It's okay, because seriously, in the grand scheme of things, my problems aren't that bad, and I can probably just about cope with them because I've got some amazing people like you around me. So, my lovelies, without further ado, the cafe is now